Shalom, shalom. Giving our praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God. The name is Holy Son of Mashiach. The name of this class is, are you taking the matrix? We in the matrix, right? So are you taking the red or the blue pill? The red or the blue pill? The red pill in the matrix is when everybody get woke up. You come to real reality. The blue pill is when you keep taking it and you keep putting yourself to sleep, like a lot of our people are doing. So that's why I named that. We got people who say they're in the truth. They're supposed to be taking the red pill, but a lot of them are still sleeping. So we just gonna go through the scriptures because this sister named Sophia Stewart wrote the Matrix. And that's why so many Bible references. Because a sister actually wrote that movie. Those white dudes stole a script and turned it into a movie. She actually wrote the story of the Matrix. So we don't see a lot of the stuff that she got came right out of the Bible. But even bigger than that, we gonna show through the Bible that the Most High God is the architect of all of this stuff. We living through a predestined program, a predestined story that's already been written out. And he's telling us this in the Bible. So we gotta be like Neo. Neo be like Christ. You know what I'm saying? Neo wouldn't be no white boy. I mean, we have a bunch of Morpheuses running around here. That's who we are. We the ones that's woke, trying to wake our people up. And we got a bunch of agents around us. So give me Numbers 18 and 15. You give me Exodus 13 and 12. Let's see where she got this from. Give me Numbers. Read it when you got it. Yo, give me Numbers 18 and 15.
Gotcha.
Read what you got.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 12. That thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix.
All the open what?
The matrix.
See, it's right in the Bible. They didn't pull it out of nowhere. Read on out.
And every firstling, yeah, see the argument, that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the male shall be the Lord's.
So jump over to verse 2. It's going to tell you what the matrix is. 13 and 2.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 13, verse 2. And I'm just going to start with 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast.
When you come through your mother's womb, you come into the matrix. You ain't coming into somewhere that ain't already set up. That's why you have to catch up with the world. The world already gone. The world already been predestined. It's already written out from the beginning to the end. It's us jumping into this world, coming through the matrix, don't know nothing. And that's why they don't want to teach us nothing. Because if you know what's going on, you'll be able to get in your position faster. Read that. Let's get one more precept on it.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 15. Everything that opened the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of men or beasts, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shalt thou surely redeem, and the firstling of the unclean beast shall thou redeem.
So what we wanted from that, everything that opens through the matrix, everything that comes through a womb comes to this matrix. So it's like another program. You know what I'm saying? We predestined program. People have, the Lord already set out different type of personalities. It ain't nothing new under the sun. It ain't gonna be nobody who come into this world that got a different personality than the set that the Most High already set out. You're gonna get predestined one of those type of personalities. It's facts. You're gonna get predestined one of these races. You're gonna get predestined one of these, you know what I'm saying? He got them in like different categories, and depending on how he wanna put it into you, that's what you're gonna get. So ain't nothing just coming out into the matrix randomly. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, but we gonna keep going. Give me Jeremiah 1 and 5.
This is the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1,
No,
verse
it's
5.
Isaiah 49 and 1.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
He said, before you was even formed in the belly, he knew us. How is that? Because it is different dimensions that's going on here. We sit in this dimension that the Most High put us in. So all this people thinking that the white man went to the moon, they gonna go into outer space and all this different stuff. We are terrestrial beings set on this earth. That's in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. We're not celestial beings. We don't have that ability to go in and out of this realm like we know that it's here. We know that it can happen, but we're not set for that. The Most High knew us before he formed us in the womb, because it was something going on with us, with our spirit, before we got in the matrix. Our spirit was already in existence before we came into this matrix. Read on, man.
And before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
So that's what he said about Jeremiah, and that's what he said about us also. And that's what he said about the children of Israel. He ordained us for these things before we even got here. So that lets you know that's another dimension. And the Most High himself even told, we're gonna go over that and what Christ said, that this ain't the end all be all right here. It's something before this, it's something after this. It's something that's he done told us about that's supposed to happen in the future. It done already happened. You know what I'm saying? So how could that be? How could this be the end all be all? If he done told us stuff that happened in the past that we can prove that it happened, which was prophecy. How could you have prophecy if it's not already written out? If it's not already a storyline predestined? Give me that Isaiah chapter 49, verse 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 1. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Lord hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother. Hath he made mention of my name?
So then he told you he knew you before the womb. He called you while you was in the womb. You know what I'm saying? This is all the plan of the architect. We ain't nothing but a creation by the Creator. And we try to find our way. You give me things. Read on out.
Verse 2. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me.
Read on.
And said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified.
And that's why we should take this as an honor of knowing who we are, being the children of Israel. Predestined. You could have been predestined to be Esau. You could have been predestined to be an Edomite, to be a heathen. Something that the Most High not dealing with. But we've been predestined to be the kings and princes of this earth. You know what I'm saying? We try to get back to that. So I'm just trying to show the high level of importance of what we're doing right now. What we're doing is not for nothing. The same way that he said when we go out and preach to the wind, that the word won't go out void, none of this is for nothing. It's a gain in everything that we're doing. Read this out. Give me Isaiah 55 and 8.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the throne was cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The who?
The Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days. This is short before any days. Days is only for us. Time is only for us. If you take away the clock, we'll be living in what's that? The hyperbolic chamber, like on Dragon Ball. The Most High didn't make no clock. We made a clock. Man made clock. We can go off the sun, the moon, and stars, and be living just fine. But see, man want to put you to work. Man want to put you in captivity. So he got to work a clock for you. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High didn't make that for us. We are above that. We was made to be eternal. So what do we need a clock for? We was made for eternity. We just messed that up. Read. So we dealing with the Ancient of Days, man. We supposed to be dealing with the Ancient of Days. But now we on this earth, and our days as a shadow. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. Read on, man.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flames, and his wheels as burning fire.
So I just want to point out who we dealing with. We're dealing with the Ancient of Days. He's before time. He's before everything was even thought of or created. This is who we deal. This is who our boss is. It should be a privilege and a blessing to be able to deal with that. You got other people dealing with wood and stone, dealing with cars and women and money. In this place, did y'all watch the video I sent in that message? I just sent one today. Y'all need to watch it because it breaks down this capitalistic society and the banking system and the currency, and it breaks in a courtroom. Why is it called what it's called? And it's satanic behind it. Even this calling it a capitalistic society, it's satanic behind it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the other side of this matrix. That's the side that the Most High warns us about. That's why He tells us the love of money is the root of all evil. It's a reason why He said that, because the whole system of the banking system, currency, and all that goes according to maritime law. And if you get that broke down to you, it's going into the Druids, and it's going into the Phoenicians, the Phoenician Canaanites, and the devil worship that they do. That's how they set up this society, this democratic society, this voting and this election things. It's all go back to El. That's why I wanted y'all to see that. So it's another side to this matrix to keep everybody blinded. But the Most High said He gonna send the light into this world. Read that out.
This is Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts,
And
neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord.
read on.
For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
So since we dealing with the Ancient of Days, He's showing us that. Get our thoughts in His thoughts. We trying to comprehend things. You got the white man going into science trying to comprehend the invisible things that the Most High is doing. And they still can't comprehend it, because when you break their science down, it's a lie. They telling you it's a solar system, when you clearly see the sun rising from the east and setting in the west. They telling you that they going into space. It's a lie. All those things are lies. It's inverted to teach you something. They literally playing with your mind. If you believe the things that they're telling you and you looking right at it, right, you seeing it with your own eyes, and they telling you it's not so. And you see how many people that's going along with that. You can literally look at the lie they telling, and people still gonna go along with it. They telling you they went to the moon, but they ain't went back in 50-some odd years, but they got the technology that they needed to come off the moon. They just invented it in 2018. But they gonna tell you they went to the moon, and you don't believe it. Because since you was a little child, they've been teaching lies and people believe.
That's right.
How they gonna tell you the earth revolving around the sun when you can look right at the sun, rise from the east and set in the west? And you'll see people still say the earth revolving around the sun. No, they're worshiping the sun. That's what they're doing. That's why they call it a solar system. You can clearly see we're not going around the sun. But they worship the sun on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? They sun gods. That's what they do, and they put it right in your face. They teach you in your church. They teach you in your school. They teaching the little children from the time they come up. They teaching that Halloween is okay. It's the day of worshiping the devil. Even the satanic people laughing at Christians at this point. They laughing at them for doing Christmas. They laughing at them for doing Easter, because they even know that people been taught a lie. They just know exactly what they're worshiping. So they laughing at the Christians that been fooled by the Catholic Church with all of these different lies. And now they tell you, oh, homosexuality is okay. That goes against nature. But they still gonna convince you and then say they got pride about it. But the Most High say they gonna burn up in their pride. Because it's true. Because you'll be extinct everybody on the planet if you listen to these people and do what they say do. Read on out. Oh, you did read verse 9?
Yes.
All right, give me Isaiah 46 and 9. You give me Daniel 7 and 13.
This is the prophet Isaiah chapter
7 and 14.
46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. Read on. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, and the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Most High gonna do all his pleasure. How he telling you to begin from the end from the beginning? He done did that. And can't nobody go against it because he's the architect of this matrix that we live in.
That's right.
The same way Sophia Stewart wrote the story, they made it into a movie, and we watched it. They created that. It's the same way the Most High made this earth and made this story that we living in right now. That's how he can say the end from the beginning, because he wrote the story. He spoke it. He spoke it into existence. Same way Sophia sitting up there, she thought about, took the information she knew, wrote a story. Because he's the creator. He created the story that she created. You know what I'm saying? He's the ultimate God. That's why nobody stands next to him. He created Christ to do the work that he spoke. So that's how big the Most High God is. He's the Ancient of Days. He's above everything. He's the creator. We just little characters in the story. Some people is major characters. Some people is Denzel Washington. Some people ain't. Some people just extras. It's all up to the creator. So the moment that we realize this, the moment, that's why they do all this stuff to keep us blinded. Why you think they keep us blinded? They want you to take that blue pill. They want you to be like him. When he don't want to know, let me take that blue pill. I don't want to be woke. I want to keep living in the lust, because that's what the nature was. People just living in their lust. But see, in the real world, what was they doing in the real world? They had to fight. See, now we can woke up, what we got to do? Spiritually fight, because it's about the spirit. You trapped in the flesh. Just like Paul said, yeah, when I'm absent, when I'm in the body, I'm absent from the God. Because we get punished right now. So our whole thing is we got to come up, wake up spiritually, so we can be the Neos and the Morpheuses, so we can help wake our people up that same way, so they can wake up out the matrix, so we can get down to real business. Read that out.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld to the throne.
Oh, give me 7 and 13, not give me 7 and 13.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the cloud of heavens, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him.
Read on.
And there was given him dominion and glory and kingdom, to all the people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Look at that. That's a prophecy. You don't think that already happened? You think the Most High waiting on us before he crowned his son with all the kingdoms and dominion? It didn't already happen. It's already, if it's written, he done already done it. Because he already spoke. We trying to catch up to that point right now. It's people ain't even born yet that's gonna try to catch up to that point. This Bible is told. That's why people do err not knowing the scriptures. You don't even know what's going on around here. You depending on the agents in the matrix. And the whole job is to keep you sleeping and to keep you from not knowing that you one of the children of Zion. You depending on them to teach you about this word. When the Most High right here is teaching us about this word. This is how we know we in the matrix. This is how the sister knew we was in the matrix. Understand me? Give me verse 22.
Verse 22. And the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And that time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
You think that ain't already happened? That's why it's a past, present, and future. But the Most High, the Ancient of Days, precede all of that. You just got to imagine. The same way you write out the story, it's already there. He already wrote it out. He just sitting over it like, just watching the movie. But the characters already been, the story already been made. And he just looking at the movie. And we just sitting up here trying to play our little part, figure out what's going on in the world, where do we belong. We got people with identity crisis, all types of stuff going on. But we know who we are now. We are the children of the Most High God, man. Give me that Acts 15 and 18. No, give me Psalms 135.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 15, verse 18. Known unto Yahweh are all his works.
What did the Lord say?
Known to Yahweh are all his works.
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning of the world.
Mm.
Wherefore, my sentence is that we trouble not them which.
That's all I want.
Okay.
Verse 18. Known unto the Most High God are all his works from the beginning of the world. He letting you know he on a whole nother level. We can't even comprehend this. You got people talking about, I watched this dude do a little thing on YouTube. He talking about the third and fourth dimension. But the problem with that, he still got the sun in the middle of the solar system. I'm like, if he's supposed to be quantum physics, then you should know better. You can see, can't you? But you talking about third and fourth dimensions and quantum physics, but you still got the sun in the center of it. Come on, man. See, then you start understanding the level of the game. These astronauts, all involved. They all playing the game. You got Elon Musk, you got the dude from Amazon, Bill Gates, all of it is a game. Those are the agents that we fighting against. They population control, vaccines, they putting all this out, thinking that they going against the Most High. All you doing is fulfilling what the Most High already set forth.
That's it.
You cannot go against God. How can you, literally, how can you go against something that created you? How can you go against something? Can anything that you created go against you? You got the power over it. So whatever the devil's doing, whatever the demon's doing, whatever the Satan doing, the Most High already told him to do it. He said he knew us before he formed us in the womb. We just on a level we can just see from our point of view. We can't see from up there. We ain't even looking from down here. We see it from right here. One plane of vision. So you can't see everything that's laid out in front of us. That's why you got some people believe in the chariots, some people don't. The Most High revealed it to some people, even though you can go right on YouTube and see it. But you're not going to believe it till you see it for yourself.
That's it. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can, when you see it, you're like, what is these people talking about? I've seen it with my own eyes. Because the Most High reveals things to you when he wanted to be revealed to you. And you got different people on different levels of consciousness. You got people thinking they on a level of consciousness and they don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot know nothing if you don't have the Most High God in it.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. Read on.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 135 and verse 3. Praise the Lord, for the Lord is good. Sing praises unto his name, for he is pleasant. For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure.
Oh, right there. See, this is what the whole world matters us for. That the Creator chose us. So what they gonna do? They gonna invert it and say the devil chose them, because that's all they can do. They dealing with Satan. That's why they want to give Satan the praise. I don't know if anybody's seen a video of the Commonwealth Games they just had, where these people literally was worshiping Baal, the bull. They literally had open worship of that bull in the Commonwealth Games. I didn't even know what the Commonwealth Games was. And I guess it's a form of Olympics or whatever that they had in England. They literally had an open ceremony where they worshiped the bull Baal. It was, and you knew what, you could feel what they was doing because of the music that they had, the sound effects that they had. You knew that it wasn't nothing of God. And they over here with the little fire and they doing all this with it. Yeah, just open season for paganism, for Satan worship, for witchcraft. They not even hiding it no more. Because as we getting closer to the end, what is there to hide? Everybody know who everybody worship. They know who the Israelites worship. That's why they hate us. But you can worship the devil. Have you heard any hate for people who worship Satan? I ain't heard no hate for people that's worshiping Satan. I heard Satan worshipers laughing at Christians though. That's how bad this world is. Like, it's a joke. Read on that.
Verse 5. For I know that the Lord is great, and that our Lord.
Read verse 4 again.
Verse 4. For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. For I know that the Lord is great, and that our Lord is above all gods. Whatsoever the Lord pleased, that did he in heaven, and in earth, and in the seas, and in all deep places.
Whatever the Lord pleased, that's what he did. So if he pleased him, choose Israel, that's what he did. First of all, who's rivaling the Most High God of Israel on the creation of the earth? Who was the rival? What other God? No, I'm serious. Do any of these guys that these people supposed to worship? I haven't heard that they said that any of them was the creator of the earth. They may be over the wind, the fire, they may be over judgment, they may be over this, seduction, they got gods for everything. But I ain't heard none of one of them, not even Zeus, be the creator of the heaven, the earth, and the seas, man. They can't even touch that. Right. Who is the architect of the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything that goes along with it, with nature? They want to say Mother Nature, Father Time, all this different crap. It's no right theory. That's straight garbage, man. That's no disrespect. Big bang theory. So something just randomly put all this stuff together so perfect. The only thing out of order on this earth is the people. Because if the people wasn't here, I bet you would see how flourishing this earth would be with the animals and the plants. You know what I'm saying? People is destroying the earth. People is a parasite, is a consumer, is a plague on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Because without God in your life, they really on Satan. And Satan giving them technology. I was just thinking about this today. Reason why people watch TV, they want to program you, right? Hollywood comes from witches. That's where they get Hollywood from. That's what they make their little wines from. Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So it's about magic. Magic, movies, movie magic. What do movies do? They give you lies. So people listen to whatever the movies tell them. If they said Charleston Heston was Moses, ain't that what the people believe? If they said that Christ was white, ain't that when you watch the movie, ain't that what the people believe? So they ain't playing with lies in your head with witchcraft. Straight up. And then now, because they had to do that, because who's out here tilling the ground anymore? Who's out here working hard labor anymore? Who's out here, a majority of the people really outside and working? Not even made everything easier. Not even gave you all this technology. Now you got more time on your hands. How you need to fill it? Fill it up with lies. Fill it up with entertainment. Yeah. Because if you want to enter, I bet you if you one with nature, you'll be closer to the Most High God. If you one with nature, with the dirt, the earth, the trees, you planting with the animals, you're going to be one with the Most High God. Because you ain't in there taking them love. So the Most High made everything that pleased him. You know what I'm saying? Give me that Daniel chapter 4, verse 35. Give me Isaiah 41 and 22.
This is the book of the prophet Daniel, chapter 4, verse 35. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
What did the Most High God say?
And all of the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
No, some of the inhabitants of the
all of the inhabitants of the earth.
We better get this thing right, man. While these people running around here, could you imagine a grasshopper running around with an attitude? Could you imagine a wasp coming over here shaking his neck? You know what I'm saying?
Buzzing hard.
Could you imagine a squirrel getting up, rolling his neck? Just imagine that. Now look how we look to the Most High. It's slaves in slavery with attitude problems. That's why the Lord said all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, man. We trying to earn to be something to the Most High. We ain't did nothing. Now we're trying to do something to show the Most High that we're worthy in this matrix. Because we can be swallowed up with everybody else. Read on nothing.
Is reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth.
The Most High do according to his will, what he want to do. Can't nobody go against it. If the Most High wants you to go out there and bark like a dog in the middle of the street, you gonna do it. You better ask Nebuchadnezzar. You gonna do whatever the Most High wants you to do. Whatever the Spirit Most High say, go around there and put a lying spirit on him. You that lying spirit gonna go down there and get put on. Just is what it is, man. So you better please the Most High. Read on.
The inhabitants of all the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou?
And I can prove that nobody can go against the Most High. Because if it was one person that can go against the Most High, stop yourself from dying. Stop yourself from dying. Then you'll prove you can go against the Most High. Until then, you ain't talking about nothing. Ain't a person on this earth that can stop themselves from dying. The Most High have to translate you up and make you avoid death. You know what I'm saying? Like he did Enoch and Elijah. Was it Elijah?
Yeah, Elijah.
That's the only person to do it. That's why he said he's gonna take the sting of death away. He's the only person can do that. Nobody else can do that. That's all on it. Now give me that Isaiah 41 and 22. 2 Corinthians 4 and 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 22. Let them bring them forth and show us what shall happen.
Say that, you read that again.
Let them bring them forth and show us what shall happen.
This is the Most High telling you, tell them, these so-called prophets out here, tell these so-called necromancers, these charmers, these people, your Nostradamuses, tell them to tell you what's going to happen. Because all of them have failed. They couldn't even read the Mayan calendar right. They sitting up here trying to tell you what Nostradamus said. What has Nostradamus said that came true? Trying to put a white man as a prophet. A white man ain't no prophet, man. Read on, man.
Let them show the former things that let them show the former things what they be, that we may consider them and know the latter end of them, or declare us things for to come.
Read on.
Show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Yea,
He said, show the former things to come. Show me what's going to happen in the future. Then we know you gods. Read on.
yea, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and beholden together. Verse 24, behold, ye are of nothing, and your work of naught. An abomination is he that chooses you.
He said that if somebody's out here trying to act like they God, you are nothing. And you are abomination if you choose them. So they choose these false prophets, these pastors, these Joel Osnees, these T.D. Snakes, anybody who said they can tell you your future. He said if you choose them, you are an abomination, because that's foolish, man. Lean on the Most High God. He can tell us our future. He literally tells us, do good or do evil. Get life or get death. That's your future. Get the curses or get the blessings. Do good and you'll get the blessings and you'll get life. Do evil, you're going to get the curses and you're going to get death. He telling us. He telling us. And then within all that, he giving us proverbs and wisdom to make us be able to survive through this life that we in. All we got to do is listen. It's when we go against what he telling us. It's when you're going to feel the hard side of it. So what do most people do? What they say, a hard head make a soft behind.
Hey, all day long.
A hard head make a soft behind. So a lot of us like to die the hard way. So if you follow after them, send you abomination. Because those are devils, man. And he finna show us right here. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. Read that, because this is the latter side of the matrix. Remember, the Lord said that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So he told us, is that not wisdom to know? Because if you know that, then you won't be. Matter of fact, you want to get that, Job 9:24. Because if you know that, if somebody teaches you that, wouldn't you be better suited in this world instead of coming out having this optimistic view, thinking that we are all one and that we love everybody? So then you gonna find out the hard way that that's not true. Because that's what they pump into our children. We are the world. We are the children. What do they say?
We are the ones who
Make a better place.
Let's start there.
There's a choice to make. And each one of our lives makes you tell us. Half the people dead. Half of them dead. They didn't even make it. They telling us that we need to be one world. No, that ain't what the Most High God said.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24.
Uh-huh.
The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is
So
he?
he telling us, give me 2 Thessalonians 2. He told us that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, so that we can teach our children, the little ones, don't go into this world thinking that this world is your freedom. Don't go into this world thinking that we all one and that God love everybody, because that's not true. Because the wicked don't love the righteous. The wicked don't love the children of the Most High God. And history proves that. We can go right through history and prove that the other nations hate the Israelites. Our books tell it. They books even say it. You know what I'm saying? Read that out. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4 and verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Verse 4, in whom the God of this world had blind the minds of them which believe not.
All right there. So he letting us know the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Those are the agents, man. And if the gospel be hid, it's hid to them that's lost. The ones that's taking the blue pill. The ones that's getting that blue pill shoved down their throat every single day. The ones that's getting told, you a nigger, you a Mexican, you a wetback, but I still love you. I can't tell you, put the children in cages at the border. They telling you America is the land of the free, the home of the brave. But then they hating us. They lynching us. They murdering us in the middle of the street. And our people keep falling for it. That's part of the lie that I'm telling you. This ain't a democracy. A democracy is a white man made up garbage. This is a republic. This is a capitalistic society. It's about the money. It's always been about the money. This country was founded off the backs of the slaves for money. And it's not gonna be nothing more than that. So all this fighting for your nation, they don't care about this nation. Well, how can people, the Congress and the president care about this nation if the country's $30 trillion in debt? And I heard this from white people. I went to the white station and listened to them talk about and break down that Build Back Better bill and talk about how much garbage and taxes in there. This is them talking about their own stuff. I don't care, but I just like to be informed. But the country $30 trillion in debt. Last time I heard it was $3 trillion. They said it's $30 trillion. Well, I guess when you print money at will with nothing based behind it, then it's gonna be like that. But then you got Russia and China making a reserve that's built off of gold. Gaddafi tried to do it in Africa, they murdered him. But over in China and Russia, they can't kill them. And they backing their stuff by gold because they know this is some faulty garbage that's going on in America. And this cannot withstand. It's because they don't care about this country. It's just, if you learn anything about the presidency and elections, and they talk about these businessmen like they did Mitt Romney, and they talk about how they go buy a company, and they strip the company, and they take all the assets, and they take all the value out of the company, and then they fire all the people. That's what they do to a business. That's what they do to America. This is a business, and then what they do, they file bankruptcy. But who gonna have to pay the cost? The people gonna have to pay the cost. Because they don't care about you. They hoarding all the gold, they hoarding all the resources, they hoarding all the food, they hoarding all everything. Because they don't care about us. The world was given, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, which are the agents, Agent Smith and them. But we keep wanting to be their friend. If you look through this world in the right perspective with the right lenses, and you see how the United States trying to make Russia and China be the bad guys, as if they not the hypocrite that did all this stuff that they doing right now. And they a hypocrite and trying to act like, oh, China just wrong for how they feel. They just causing drama. Well, if I tell you, if you do this, I'm gonna be pissed off, and you do it anyway, how is I'm just causing drama? I let you know 50 years ago how I felt about Taiwan. You still gonna do what you wanna do. Why? Because the pride of thine heart has deceived thee some. The pride of thine heart, I'm watching them, they prideful. That's why Nancy Pelosi went there after China told them, you gonna make us angry. But who gonna have to pay the cost? Taiwan is gonna have to pay the cost. Nancy Pelosi don't. That's Esau, man. It's always been Esau. They use everybody. They use Ukraine. But who helping Ukraine? They ain't over there fighting with Ukraine. But these people, our people, want to trust in this devil. Right here in America, the same thing. Because we in the matrix, that devil crap. They use witchcraft because that's the only thing it could be. Because if you looking at something, and we are looking at the same thing, but 9 out of 10 people said, no, that's smart right there, that's green. And you don't want to, no, brother, that's blue. But all the 9 people said, no, that's green. So now they done forgot their colors. Now they done forgot because they blinded, man. That's why I say the God of this world has blinded them. How can you blind this many people? Do witchcraft. So they make it seem like witchcraft is a fun thing. Oh, it's nothing. Have little cute girls, little white girls doing it. Little teenage girls. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. But I could have sworn they were burning witches in Salem. I could have sworn the Most High said put a witch to death. So how did we get to Sabrina the Teenage Witch with the little cat? From burning witches.
Bewitched.
Bewitched. You see how they do it? That's why he said put them to death. Just like anything that you put an attack on, if you let it survive, it's gonna come back and bite you. That's why the Most High told Saul to kill everything of the Amalekites. But see, we hard hit. Those same Amalekites is the one right now that's running Hollywood. We hard hit. Them same ones is the ones that was the stranger among us. Now we the tail and they the head, because we hard hit it. So now it's time to take that red pill that the Most High given us.
That's right.
Don't take the blue pill. Don't fall for this stuff no more, man. That's when you come up out of this world. Where we at? Oh, yeah, read up.
Finishing for Shalatsky. I just want to say this right fast. And 2, you know, we miss it when they tell us in a commercial, Merrill Lynch is bullish on America. Just like what you said, you know, it goes all the way back to them going and taking all the resources, doing everything to drain this thing, and who they leaving the beer.
Right. Even down to that bull that they use.
Yeah,
That's they hell.
That's right.
They put all this stuff right in our face.
Right.
The word, man, I'm telling you, man, watch that video that I put on there. The words that they use. This dude broke the words down. All the words mean something in the banking system. The bank, what's on the side of what's in the side of the bank? The water, right? What do they call the money? Currency. What do the water do? It got a current. They directing the flow of the current. They direct the flow of the money.
That's it.
I'm telling you, all this stuff has already been predestined. The courtroom ain't nothing but a game. The circuit court, the elections. That's why election, electricity, circuit. What do the electricity run through? A circuit. Why do they call a court a circuit court? The circuit gives juice, right? If you got juice, can't you get out the circuit court? Can't you get out the court? You got juice, you got money. You can buy your way up out of it. Man, they got this whole thing, the bench, the judge. You know, it's a difference between lawyer and attorney, you know?
Yeah.
But you don't know none of this stuff. That's why you got to get you one. Because you go up in that court, what you play on the court? Games. You go in there playing them games with them people, watch what's going to happen. Watch what's going to happen to you. When they officer give you a ticket, like just when you go buy something, they charge you. You get a ticket, they charge you. Then you got to pay for it. You get that ticket from that court, that cop, you go to court. If you lose, they charge you. What you got to do, you're going to have to pay. It's a transaction. Your life is a transaction.
What our people say?
No.
What our people say? Why you judging me? But the white man is making judgment on me.
Judgment on you. See, we ain't up on game. We ain't got the ability to judge one another. We don't know what the hell going on. You got to know what's going on so you can get to that level.
Exactly.
You can correct, you can reprove, you can talk to. You know what I'm saying? You can Matthew 18 and 15, but keep it. Brothers need to get their stuff up before you get to that level. We need our nation back. Read it out.
Starting with chapter 4 again. In whom the God of this world had blinded the mind of them which believe not.
Which believe not. Because what they do, they believe a lie. Read.
Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them.
Unless the light of Christ shine on them. We're going to get that light because that light is important. Very, very important. Light is important, period. Light is how things grow. Light is how you see things. You need the light. If we ain't got no light, we're in utter darkness. Give me that 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. I mean, Romans 13 and 1.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed.
See, that's what's going on right now. That man of sin getting revealed to the true believers of the Most High God. He revealing that man of sin, so we can't be fooled no more. That's why we can't even barely watch TV without seeing the lies that they tell. Read on now.
The son of perdition, who oppresseth and exalt himself
Who
above,
opposes and exalts himself.
who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
We got all them examples. The Catholic Church is the perfect example of that. They trying to act like they got it. They trying to act like they above everything on this earth that God created. That's the agents, man. That's the agent Smiths. Those are the ones that are trying to keep us blind in the educational institutions, in the political institutions, and all the institutions that's around us. They try to keep us blind. But see, that's why the light of the glorious gospel of Christ got to be shining upon us. That's where many are called, but few are chosen. That's where the Most High make his call. That's why I said the call. He got to call us. We can't wake ourselves up. Read on.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know that withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
It's already working.
Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
So he's letting us know who's working after the coming of Satan. Our adversary, just like Christ got an adversary, which is Satan. Esau is our adversary. His workings is after Satan. Our workings have to be after Christ. That's why Christ is our example. It's two opposing sides because the Most High is balanced. We are in the middle of a spiritual war. We are in the middle of a movie that the Most High has put together. We are in the middle of everything that involves us is this earth, right? The story of this earth. We are right in the very center of it, according to where we at. Like we know it already passed already, but where we at in the story for us in this present time, we have to be aware. We have to be on our stuff. This is not no game, man. You think we live to die for nothing? No. Read on out.
And, verse 10, and with all deceitfulness, unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Uh-huh.
And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie,
Read on.
that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
It's the matrix, man. You don't want to believe what that dude, that white dude in the matrix do when he sold them out. He said, man, I want to eat steak, I want to be rich, I want to be in the matrix, I don't want to remember nothing. He said that he had the knowledge of the truth. He said, I don't want to remember nothing. That's what happens to somebody that come into this truth and doing the work of the Lord, and they go back into the work world. They said, I don't want to believe the truth no more. I want to believe a lie. I want to go after all unrighteousness. And then the Most High put that. That's what happens when people don't reprobate. Put a strong delusion on them. That's what happened when you play with the power. You can be put back in the matrix just as easy as took you out. They put you right back in one of them pods, put the tube down your throat, and put you back in a fluid.
No, even the Matrix, they said you couldn't go back. It'll kill you, because you going to get exposed.
You're going to be dead. You go reprobate, you might as well just be dead. Because your spirit is dead. You are dead. You just a walking bag of bones at this point. Bugged out.
The scripture says, well, it's been better for you not to even know.
Not even know what. What the scripture say for you. It was the ones that ain't even been here better than the ones that's been here or the ones that's here right now. So yeah, give me that.
This is the book of
Colossians 1 and 12.
This is the book of the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh, and the Word was Yahweh. The same was in the beginning with Yahweh. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
See, this what Christians get it twisted at. They think Christ is God. No, Christ was the first. How do they read the New Testament and then don't read Colossians and see? It's telling you all things were made by him. Then Colossians clear it up even. Of the Most High God. And he spoke it, and he had Christ do the work. Do you see whose side we on? So even before Satan was even created, before the angels was created, we deal with the Creator and his firstborn son. Why would you even want to deal with anything else? We dealing with the architect and the one that he ordained to do the job. So why would you want to deal with anything else in this matrix? Because you either blinded, you got strong delusion, reprobate, or you lost your mind. Smitten with madness. You gotta be smitten with madness. You know what I'm saying? Read on out.
Verse 4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehend it not.
They can't comprehend this light. That's why we sit there telling people, keep the law and such commandments, and you got people arguing us down. You can't comprehend being obedient to the Most High God. It's like you say, they didn't train these people to command is a trigger word. Oh, no, they start going crazy. I ain't got to keep the laws. No, don't command us. Brother, what is you talking about? You keeping Dallas laws? You keeping Texas laws? You keeping the United States laws? You ain't locked up. But you say keep God's laws, and that's a problem. That's a problem to be obedient to the Father, but you say you love God. That's how many liars on this planet. That's how many liars on this planet. But Christ is that light. And we know that the light, the commandments is a lamp and the law is a light. How you gonna see your way out of darkness if you don't believe in the light? He left that light. We always in darkness. How can you grow up in the hood, single parent home, drugs in the household, drugs in the community, and not be in darkness? Abusive relationship, growing up, people abusing each other, people killing each other. How is you not in darkness? How you gonna come out of that darkness? You gotta have a light. And it ain't no white man, because he ain't no light. But the Most High said, Hamashiach Yahushua. And look at all these so-called Black Hispanics and Native Americans that start changing their whole tune. These people been in Christianity 30, 40 years, still doing the same thing they were doing. But you become an Israelite and you start changing your ways and you think that's not the light. Read on that.
Verse 6.
Oh, because it say the darkness comprehended it not. If you in Christianity, you in darkness. You worshiping the white man. And on top of that, they worshiping the Queen of Heaven, Mary, which translate when you go into what they really doing with Mary, that's Lucifer. It's good that he goes into Lucifer. That's why they sing hymns to Lucifer in the Catholic Church. The light, the darkness can't comprehend the light. That's why these Christians ain't comprehending us, telling them to keep the commandments, because the light of the glorious gospel of Christ ain't shined upon them. Read on.
Verse 6. There was a man sent from Yahweh, whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light.
So John came and bore witness of the light. They believe John the Baptist. But we got Antichrist. We got John the Baptist. But we got Antichrist. And John came to bear witness of the light. These people don't make no sense. Read on.
That was the true light, which lighted every man that cometh into the
They
world.
come to the matrix.
He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him
I'm
not.
telling you, bro, this is on another level. The one that the Most High ordained to create this world, he allowed him to come into the matrix of the world that he put together. And people can't grasp that. Does God come in the flesh? No, he too big for this.
Come on now.
What would God
Come on now.
come through the matrix for? This is a punishment. We ain't in heaven. Why would God come and be a glutton for punishment to the creations that he made?
Flesh couldn't even consume him.
No. You can't even look at the Most High God. But he gonna come down here and be in a filthy flesh. He just told us all people on the earth is nothing. And he gonna come be nothing with us. That don't make no sense. They ain't reading his Bible. The Most High God said the other nations are like spittle. But he gonna come down here to give them salvation. These people they don't read no Bible.
Right.
They going in the darkness, listening to dark people. You listening to Jesuit priests. You listening to Catholic priests who are pedophiles, molesters. This is who they're getting their information from. That's why the Lord said all of them is abomination. You go into a church where the pastor is a known pedophile, a known woman abuser, a known adulterer, and you go in there getting the word from him. The Lord said you're an abomination. That's what he said, because you stupid. Not my pastor. Yes, your pastor. Yes, your pastor.
When we find out as pastors, let's just pray for pastor.
Let's just pray. And look, that light is wrapped around the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the only thing that's going to get you. That's what the spiritual translate into the physical. Because you got to take that spirituality of the law and translate it into action in the flesh. The Most High not finna be down here dealing with this garbage, man. He made this for us. Matter of fact, we're going to read on. He made this for Christ. This is Christ's inheritance. Right. So wouldn't it make sense for Christ to come down here and deal with this? Because he the one going to be inherited. Right. It's like I got a company I'm going to give to my son, but it's in shambles right now. Son, well, it's going to be yours. You might want to go down there and deal with it. So, Daddy, I mean, if you got to go ahead and take the charge for your company to get it back right, then go ahead. That's yours. Right. And that's what Christ did. That's right. Read on now. Oh, matter of fact, give me Colossians 1:12. Give me Proverbs 8:22.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 12. Giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light.
And what?
in light,
in what?
in light,
In the law. Read on.
who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son.
It's the Son. It's the Son's kingdom. The Most High giving it to his Son. He giving this earth to his Son. That's why the Son had to come down here and deal with this stuff, man. Read on.
In whom we have redemption through his blood, even forgiveness of sins,
Read on.
who is the image of the invisible God.
Man, what is these Christians reading, man? It's telling you he the image of the invisible God. Because he invisible, because we can't see him. He's in a different, don't you know light got different spectrums of light? You can't see gamma rays. You can't see X-rays. You can't see it. We can only see what we can see. So he's invisible to us. But I bet you he pulled back. That's why he keep bringing up light. If you understand light, that's why you got infrared light, ultraviolet light. And you can see different things through them lights. We all know you took that blue light, you got to see some stuff that you couldn't see with the regular light.
Blood that they to wash out.
You were in the hotel room one day, they had that blue light with, oh my gosh, we don't want to see that. That's what the different spectrums of light do. That's why you can't see the Most High. He's everywhere, but you can't see him. So when it's saying light, what level of light do you need to see him? He ain't gave that to us yet. So that's why you can't see him. So he put Christ so we can see him through the Spirit and have an understanding of what the Most High God looked like. He said we his image too. So if Christ is the image of him, Christ come from us, then you know what God looked like. Read on.
The firstborn of every
The
creature.
firstborn of every creature. That's why Christ is most special above everything. That's why we rolling with him and not Satan. Read on now.
For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions, or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
Yeah.
And he is before all things, and by him all things consist.
Because it's for him. That's why he said he's gonna give him all kingdoms, dominions, and nations. So you got the Edomites thinking they running stuff. They not running nothing now. They running into their own destruction. Because if you was smart, if these people literally were smart, you wouldn't have no nuclear weapon arsenal. You just waiting for the day you finna blow yourself up and commit suicide. What's the purpose of having loaded guns on that level and having enemies if you're not finna never use them? Because it don't look like to me nobody backing down. Because as much as the United States tried to suppress all the other countries, they were not successful because the Most High already told you about God and made God. You can't defeat the Most High. Read this out.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 14, verse 1.
Read it out loud. I don't think they can hear you.
Okay. This is the book of St. John, chapter 14, verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yahweh, believe also in me.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta believe because that show the Most High where you at. If you just sit there saying, "Oh yeah, I believe in Christ," do you really? Do you really believe in Christ? Because Christ is the way that you're gonna get to the Most High. That's like the test. He gonna send his son to you first. You ain't finna deal with the boss. He gonna send his son to you first, and he gonna gauge where you at. Read on.
Verse 2. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whether I go, ye know, and the way ye know. And
jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. And verse 6. Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him and have seen him.
And I'm telling you, people think this is a joke. It's just like us. If I'm a big time boss, I'm not dealing, you can't come see me. I'm gonna send my representative, which is my son. And if you can't deal with him, you're not dealing with me. Ain't that common sense? These people gonna go past common sense and make something be that's not true. Christ is the Son of the Most High God. We're sons of the Most High God, but we filthy and corrupt. So he gonna test us first to see if we gonna be able to get into the kingdom. You ain't finna let nobody that's not gonna hear to what the Father said into the kingdom. It don't make no sense. This is right here is the staging point. However you gonna be right here, it's how you will be in the kingdom. If you can't act right according to the Most High God here, you're not getting in the kingdom.
That's right.
Because he telling you, where my Father is many mansions, he letting you know it's another level to this stuff. And I want to get through this. I got 15 minutes, so I'm gonna have to skip a whole lot of stuff. Give me 1 Peter 2:21 and Wisdom of Solomon. Give me 1 Peter 2:21. First Peter chapter 2:21.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps.
And we should do what?
Follow his steps. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Who, when he was revealed not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judged righteously.
Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 23. So, Christ is our example. We have to go to Christ to get to the Most High God. That's why he said he's the truth and the life, because we have to go through him to get to the Father. But the way we're going to get to him is doing the example that Christ set. That's the only way you can go to that gate. Everything is lined up for us. It's not a mystery on how to get into the kingdom of heaven. It's not. We just have to hear it, and Christ is that example. Read that out.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 23. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
See, that's the whole thing. We trying to get back to where he started us at. If we immortal, this can't hold us. That's why you got to have a new Jerusalem. That's why everything, if we're immortal, then death can't restrain us. These bodies can't restrain us because we're going to have immortal bodies. These are mortal bodies. These bodies could be corrupted. So how are you going to get to that point? He's letting you know to get to the next level, another dimension, another stage of this existence, which is immortality. It's what he meant for us in the first place. The only way you're going to do that if you make it through this test right here. And the test is the test of obedience. Jump over to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and 17.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline.
It's a desire of what?
Discipline.
Because we have to train ourselves from the sinful world that we've been trained in Babylon, in Egypt, all of this stuff that they train. Look, we done pumped the brakes on what we was doing and what we was taught, and now we seeing the new generation doing the things, and we're scared. Because these people got us like this. They got women walking around naked and saying it's an outfit. It used to be skimpy clothes. Now it's literally naked. see through stuff and saying they got on clothes.
Hmm.
I seen a sister with one breast out at the, where Lil' Kim had been did it, I guess. So she turned around and do it, Summer Walker, and they saying these are clothes. Little pasties and stuff. We in Babylon now. This is totally against the Most High God. Because if all the lights go out, let's see if women walk around like that. And all these perverts. They raising a whole bunch of perverts. A whole bunch of lustful, sexual perverts. Deviants, like the ox said. And then, what's going to hold them back? Read that out.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And love is keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
Assurance of incorruption. Read on.
And incorruption maketh us near unto God.
Incorruption maketh us nearer unto God. And then what?
Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
And that brings us closer to the kingdom of the Most High God. We have to get this corruption out of us to bring us closer to that incorruption that the Most High wants us to be. That he started us off, and we messed that up. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 53.
This is the book of Shalak. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter.
Sorry, 53.
Okay. Chapter 15, verse 51. Behold, show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep,
We shall not all sleep. All of us ain't sleeping this matrix no more. Read on.
but we shall all be
We
changed
all gonna be changed one way or another. Read.
in a moment of the twinkling of an eye. At the last trumpet of the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Read on.
For this corruptible must be on incorruption.
Must put on incorruption.
That means must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Read on.
So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in
So
victory.
we trying to get to the immortality state. Because if we get there, we on a whole nother level. That's how the chariots and the angels and stuff is going back and forth. They on another level. We trying to figure stuff out on this level that we in a corruptible body and ain't doing nothing that the Most High said to do. Only way you gonna understand it, man, if you start putting on the incorruption. Start putting on the incorruption, which is the wisdom of the Most High God. That's what we just read out of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, 6 and 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, the very true beginning of wisdom. That's why we pray for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from the Most High God. Give me Baruch chapter 4 and verse 4. Because what I wanted to go into, which I'm not going to get to touch, is a lot of things that we're doing. We rehearsing the righteous acts, which is a shadow of things to come. We know it's another dimension. We know it's another dimension because even the scriptures say in Matthew 18, where it say, what you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Like Matthew 6, on earth as it is in heaven. The Most High said in Hosea 5 and 15, I'm going to go and return to my place. They asked Christ, whether shall he go when he told them he gonna go? Where he gonna go? Is he gonna go to the dispersed of the Gentiles? He tell them, I'm gonna go back to my Father. Where his Father? In another dimension that we cannot comprehend on this level. Because the Most High thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are not our ways. That's why we have to put off the ways of this society, the ways of Babylon, the ways of Esau, because he is trying to clog your pineal gland in your brain, so you can't have that connection with the Most High. That's all this is about. Because come from out of her, my people.
Touch no unclean.
Read this out. Give me Matthew 22 and 29. Read it. 4 and 4.
4. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to Yahweh are made known unto us.
Happy are we that the Most High made these things known to us, man. That we can know our situation that we in. That we ain't running around saying we real niggas no more. We ain't running around saying, I'm a pimp, I'm a player. We ain't running around here putting bywords on ourselves. And we call ourselves by our God-given name that the Most High God gave us as children of Yasharah. Happy are we that the things that are pleasing to the Most High God is made known to us. Because without that, we're nothing.
Right.
We're nothing without the Most High. Absolutely nothing. He is the one that makes us be something. Without him, everybody in vanity. Everybody fooling themselves. All these people who think they doing something because they got some money, they got some grams on their car, man, that stuff is going to burn. The Lord said, he that loved the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So he telling you this stuff in the matrix, that's just like the dude in the matrix. I want to eat steak, I want to eat rich. That's all fake. The money fake. The love that you got from the women that you buying is fake. Everything that these people running around here doing is fake because you have to keep doing it over. To have fun, you have to keep doing it. Once you stop having fun, what do you say? The thrill is gone. Then you gotta go back and do it again. It's like chasing a high. That's what fun is. You gotta keep doing it. And if you keep doing it, you keep drinking, drugging, kicking it, ain't your body gonna get tired? Ain't you gonna wear your body out sooner trying to have that fun? You 50 years old trying to hang out with 20-year-old girls, trying to have fun. But if you do what the will of the Father is, your days is gonna be, you're gonna have good days. You know what I'm saying? Read that out. This is the last one.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 29. Yahushua answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God.
Right there. Anybody who don't know these scriptures, man, for real, and I mean with understanding by doing it, you do err not knowing the scriptures. Look how bad our people err by not knowing the scriptures, saying that Christ is all colors or color don't matter. You disrespecting the Lord with that, man. That's you do err not knowing the scriptures. They erring by thinking that Christ is the Most High God. When we can clearly go in the scriptures. In the New Testament, we can get out the Old Testament. You do err not knowing the scriptures because you're going to send yourself to damnation for no reason. By listening to who? Listening to the damn white man. Listening to the devil, whose whole job is to make you lose your salvation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Here go the law right here. And I think this is the best one out of all. Revelation 22 and 14.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Why?
that they may have rights to the tree of life
And then what?
and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Ain't that what we want? The right to the tree of life. That's what this is all about. He started us to be immortal. And that's what the end game is to be. So that we can rule the earth with a rod of righteousness. And with that, I say all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of his holy son, Mashiach, Yahushua. Kwam Yasharah.
Kwam Yasharah.
Kwam Yasharah.
Kwam Yasharah.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah.